And recording.
Great. Here is the presentation for the winery and vineyard that we manage the risk for. We are here to let you know which risks are most likely to come up, what we're managing, how we're managing them, and which ones will belong to the clients. Go ahead. So we have a $5 million budget, purchase land of 7 acres, and this will include a vineyard with a winery in a 5,000 square foot building. And also, so we will work within the project scope that includes the construction, preparation of land and the buildings, installing the tools for the winery, purchasing the tools for harvesting the grapes, and also maintaining the whole vineyard. So there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of different things to talk about. Okay.
All right, so the profit we came up with was $676,000. The company budget was we set at $5 million. The expected spent was $4 million. The company expect value came out at $324,000. So minusing all that, that was our profit. Next slide. So then the client risks by expected value. Wildfires came in at 45,000. Storm damage came in at 32,000. Fire damage at 29,000. Location change at 11,000, and landscape change also at 11,000. Next slide.
And here are the top 10 risks that the company is taking on by expected value. So here we have infestation, that would be by insects. That is at the highest impact on our project. So that will be mitigated. And over here on the right, you see the residual likelihood. So here we have infestation, flooding, safety hazards. That would include the workers who are working. We don't want them to get hurt. And the vine quality and soil quality are very important for growing grapes. So those are high on the list. Okay, next. Also here we are looking at soil contamination. Miscommunication, always an issue within project management, so we will be really working on our communication methods and managing that risk. And even so, we will be mitigating it and making sure that communication goes well. We have the permit waiting period here that affects the value, irrigation system failure, and then if our electric hand shears dysfunction. Okay.
All right, so when creating the pie chart for handling strategies, the percentages we came up for mitigate was at 62%, transfer was 29%, avoiding the risk was 4%, and accepting the risks was also 4%. All right, next slide. So then this pie chart is a percentage of expected value risk caused by category for the company. So engineering came in at 12%, electrical at 8%, contracts at 16%, agriculture at 16%, construction at 16%, permits at 8%, communication at 4%, and labor at 4%. All right, next slide.
All right, so this is our risk assessment chart, and what this provides is just a visual representation of the higher risks and ones we need to pay more focus to and have our teams look at and keep track of. And those in the green you see are less severe in those categories. So the x-axis is calculating the cost impact or expected value, and the y-axis is residual likelihood. And so those things you see closer, higher up are more likely to happen, as well as farther down here would take a greater cost impact. So you're seeing the risk 9, which Allison referred to earlier, infestation as being closer to the red area and therefore more impactful in cost. And so that would be something we definitely would want to pay close attention to and apply our efforts to mitigating. And this is a similar chart, and this focuses mostly on cost, impact, and residual likelihood. And what you're seeing is similar layout, and again, risk 9, infestation is closer to being cost impactful and more in the danger zone, as we would call it. And a lot of our risks here were closer together, and that is what Tatyana was referring to earlier, as the ones that are likely but less cost impactful.
All right, we have, here are the risks that we'll be transferring. We decided that it's best and lowest risk for us to just transfer that risk off. Most of this stuff has to do with natural disasters, weather related, and then some of them would be with a warranty, such as our tractor, electric hand shears, and irrigation guarantees with the irrigation system. So yeah, we'll be buying insurance for all these, and we don't have to worry as much about those risks. It won't impact our cost as much because we will know how much we're paying to manage those risks. Okay. And we only had a few here where we're accepting the risk that the permits could expire. Maybe they will, and we will be ready to reapply when that is needed. There is not much we can do about the time limits on a permit. So we've decided to accept that. And we plan to avoid these couple risks over here. Community objection. We hope to obtain the permits with the blessing of the community before we break the ground, and we will be able to happily go through the project without objection. And then we have contractual disputes. We plan to avoid that by making sure all contracts are signed and clear before anybody lifts the hand on what that is. Mm-hmm.
All right, so in summation, as the old adage states, fortune favors the bold. In assessing this risk management project, it's evident that there are numerous risks that come with a large-scale project, such as constructing a winery. Despite the multiple risks associated with a project of this magnitude, we felt as a team we made the client and the company confident that this would be a worthwhile endeavor. After all the relevant data was gathered, both the client and the company was encouraged to know was a healthy profit margin was available for both the client and our company.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.